I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound, but you were there, holding my hand. You were there, holding my I looked out and I saw the rain. I wanted it to go away. I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound, but you were there, holding my hand. You were there, holding my hand. I looked out and I saw the rain. I wanted it to go away. I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound, but you were there, holding my hand. You were there, holding my I looked out and I saw the rain.
All right, everybody. How are you guys
To go
doing?
away.
Let me make this go away.
I felt the weight.
Sorry about that. All right. So, I think Barry behind bars and Fancy behind bars are going to help me this morning. Wow, when I start talking, they just get louder. Come on, guys. Y'all be quiet, okay? Okay, maybe they're done now. Maybe I'll be able to Okay, how was everybody this morning? I hope you all are doing very well. Good morning, Kelly O, Ceresia Melmac. Good to see you. Do y'all hear every time I start talking, the birds start chattering? And then when I quit talking, they get quiet. Y'all be quiet. Hush. Shh. I need to be able to talk. Stop talking. Okay. I think I'm going to be. Hi, Christine. Good to see you, Ms. Fortunato. Good to see you. They're incredibly happy, Melmac. They're sitting in the little sunroom area, and the sun is beautiful, and they're all shiny and fluffy, but I'm sitting here and I'm debating on whether I need to move them. Y'all can't hear me. This is going to be a battle to try to do the live. Hey, please, hey, shh. No, I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn the music back on. I'm going to go move my birds. I'll be right back.
I looked out and I saw the rain. I wanted it to go away. I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound, but you were there, holding my hand. go away. I felt the weight of it all
Okay,
come
so
down.
sorry about that.
I break.
Okay, so there is big news in the world of Charlie Adelson. Um, I do have to warn you that I'm one of the few people that was not completely convinced that Charlie Adelson knew about the hit on Dan Markle in the beginning, right? That maybe at some point, I'm willing to concede that at some point he came to know what was going on. I'm of the opinion I'm of the opinion that this whole thing was really engineered by Donna. That it we saw the anger, the animosity in this woman, which as a Jewish woman who alienated her adult son because he fell in love with a woman from India, like it had Indian heritage, right? That as a Jewish woman that felt, oh, you can't be my son anymore if you're gonna fall in love with an Indian woman and marry her, that she would be willing to take her two precious grandchildren and dress them up as little Nazis just to make the father of these two kids fall in line. That is a very brutal and cold woman. Okay, that you don't even how is it that you are Jewish and you could even make fun, pretend that your grandchildren are little Nazis? It just that mentality alone tells you she's like a psychopath. It's crazy, right? But I didn't get that from Charlie Adelson, and his level of confusion and consternation as he's on the phone with his mom, he genuinely, I don't think, knows what the hell she's talking about with the bump. So I have a lot of reasons to believe that Charlie, I think it was Donna Adelson, she knew Katie Magbanoa because Katie Magbanoa worked in her damn office. She knew Katie Magbanoa because Katie was dating Charlie. And there are pictures of Katie and Wendy on the beach there at the apartments that Donna and Harvey lived in. I don't know why it was so critical to include Charlie, except that Wendy and Katie told us that it was Charlie. It's mind-blowing that this supposedly magnificent prosecutor just said, okay, well, we'll believe you. We don't need it. We don't need any kind of proof. We'll just believe whatever you guys say. You're the heart of this. You guys did it. You are the ones that stand to gain millions of dollars. What is Charlie going to gain? Nothing. Charlie's going to get nothing. Charlie already had more money than his mother and father. Already. Charlie was sitting on his own little personal kingdom of over like $14 million. More than what his mother and father had. What is he? He's working 60 hours a week. He owns multiple businesses. Why, why does he work 6 days a week? to try to make money, to build a kingdom, to build a fortune. That is all he was focused on. Do you know he even rented out the dock behind his house? He had a guy that rented his dock, stored his boat there, and the guy would come down and pay him once a year for storing his boat and kind of taking care of his boat. Does that sound like a killer? Georgia Cappleman want us to believe that Donna is whipping Charlie into shape and telling Charlie what he has to do and how to do it and what to say. She disowned her oldest son for dating a doctor who was of Indian heritage. But Charlie runs around. Every single girlfriend he's ever had was either like from Thailand, the Philippines, had that Eastern look to them. So I can't figure out why people believe that Charlie is doing his mother's bidding. If you go back and listen to the phone calls, Charlie is angry with his mom. Charlie wants to get off the phone from talking with her. He's just like, okay, mom, we'll talk about it later. Just leave me alone. I don't know if you guys have had any kind of experience with enmeshed families. That's not what it looks like. No, mom, don't get upset. It's okay, mom. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. It's okay, mom. I'll take care of you, mom. You'll be fine. That's what enmeshment looks like. Not, oh my God, I got to go, mom. I'm busy. Bye. Okay, we'll talk about it later. Bye. That is not enmeshment. Okay. So there's so much about the prosecution of Charlie Adelson that I was just aghast. I was aghast that the Tallahassee newspapers and media tried this family in the court of public opinion for 10 years or 8 years. The Tallahassee attorneys built up huge YouTube channels by creating a fervor of hate against the Adelsons. There was even a movement by the Black Lives Matter group that said that only the people of color were prosecuted in the case of the death of Dan Markel, that the rich white people went free. It was already, before this thing ever came to the court, it was already a shit show in terms of his constitutionally protected rights. So they said, well, Judge, we need to think about a change of venue. No, that was Judge Everton. No. Well, could we conduct a study? No. Oh, so there were jurors talking to the witnesses. We need to question the jurers. No. And the truth is, Dan Roshbaum didn't even show up to work. Charlie got no kind of representation. Dan Roshbaum was a observer in the courtroom for the most part. He was completely unprepared to do a murder trial. Now it's all coming out. Now it's all coming out that even though Roshbaum had been a prosecutor, he wasn't prepared to be a defense attorney at all. He did not even open up for appeals. He didn't even open up the record so that Ufferman could actually do a proper appeal. He just let those opportunities slip by, never objecting to it and creating a cause for appeal. Never. It's incredible. It's incredible. At this point now, after all that has happened in the past 48 hours with Charlie Adelson, I'm actually to the opinion he may have been actually set up. So his appellate attorney, his appellate lawyer is Michael Ufferman. And Michael Ufferman basically, his whole practice is simply state and federal criminal appeals. He does a lot of federal post-conviction type of work. And he basically kind of wrote the policy and the book and a lot of the laws that guide criminal appeals. So when he took this, when he agreed to take Charlie's case, but because he does all the, he has his pick. He's the top of the food chain when it comes to appellate law. In 2015, he was president of the Florida Association of Criminal Defense Attorneys. He served on the board of directors for the Innocence Project of Florida. That is huge. He has received like just countless, I don't know, not just dozens of state and national awards. He's on the Florida Bar Criminal Law Certification Committee. He, in his earlier days, after graduating from the Florida State University College of Law with high honors, he clerked for Justice Major B. Harding of the Supreme Court of Florida. He has served, held chairs and positions in the National Association of Criminal Defense Attorneys, American Bar Association, the Tallahassee Bar Association, and he teaches criminal procedure at the Florida State University College of Law, the same exact place that Daniel Markel worked. He's cream of the crop, y'all. Compared to Daniel Rashbaum, who was just a flash in the. You remember that idiot jury consultant that he had come in? That was the most bizarre thing. I swear, if I were a writer, I could write a book that would equal Gone Girl. That would be Donna Adelson, Daniel Rashburn having an affair, in love behind poor old Harvey's back. But they can't get their money or get their hands on Harvey's money. And so they concoct a plan that will see an end to the irritating son who wants to date women that are not Jewish. She's already disowned the oldest son who would not date Jewish women. And then the women and Daniel ride off into the sunset with Harvey and Charlie's millions. Because that's what it looks like they actually did at this point. It's crazy. This is a crazy story. I don't know how anybody can be a true crime and not have their jaw hitting the ground today. Now, what I'm talking about is this. Charlie Adelson was transferred at 3 a.m. It was the night of the 15th, early morning of the 16th. He was transferred. Sorry, it's my alarm clock. He was transferred from the Leon County Jail, where he's been being held there because he was supposed to testify in Donna's trial. He's just been in a holding pattern, and Donna has lost all of her attorneys. Judge Everton came and said, all of these attorneys need to go. They're incompetent. They seem to be ethically compromised, and they got to go. They're out. So she's left another person sitting in jail, no representation through no fault of her own, right? Now we have Charlie's attorney who has filed paperwork. His appeal was supposed to be in this Friday. However, he snuck in on the 15th with a different request. And so it is fascinating that Charlie goes from having been housed at the Leon County Sheriff's Office for, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks. Now we get Ufferman files a very curious request, and within 24 hours, Charlie is being transferred into what? The Florida Department of Corrections. 3:30 a.m. He's now back in Florida prison. That's long-term housing, right? So you think, okay, that is interesting. That is purposeful. Why he was perfectly happy at the jail? Why not leave him there if all you're waiting on is some temporary trial motions and such? Why are you now back in Florida incarcerations? So he's transferred 3:30 a.m. the night of the 15th, early morning 16th, right? So what has caused all this shocking, rapid change in development? Well, it all goes back to Donna, the judge removing Dan Rashbaum, and anyone connected to Dan Rashbaum was removed by the judge. Okay, 2 weeks ago, I think. So what ended up happening on Wednesday is that Michael Ufferman filed a request for an evidentiary hearing, not an appeal. This is not Charlie's appeal. He has requested an evidentiary hearing. This is for Charlie. This is not for Donna. It's for Charlie. He is asking Judge Everett. I said Everton a while ago. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. Everett, requesting Judge Everett to review Charlie's case to determine if Charlie got a fair trial. Well, of course he didn't get a fair trial. I mean, he definitely has been in trial for 10 years by the court of public opinion. No question about that. He has definitely been defending himself against Tallahassee attorneys on their YouTube channels. But when we're talking about the life of a human being, it's only about the United States Constitution. There was so much that went wrong during Charlie's trial, and I actually hold Judge Everett responsible for it. Judge Everett, I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe my eyes how bad he was. I was screaming at Daniel Rashbaum, do something. What are you doing? You're sitting there. You might as well be sitting in the gallery with all the other observers. And the great and powerful Georgia Cappleman. Oh my goodness. She was everyone's sweetheart, wasn't she? So brilliant. So brilliant. Okay, geniuses, all of you people that came for me, why didn't your great and powerful Georgia, why didn't she say to the incompetent or the compromised Everett, excuse me, Judge, we seem to have a bit of a problem with Dan Roshbaum representing every member of the Adelson family? Sir, we don't seem to have a signed waiver from Charlie that he's perfectly okay with Roshbaum defending his mother and leaving him out to dry with no representation. Where is that signed document? Oh, holy Judge Everett. Did the great and glorious Georgia Cappleman do that? No. No. And every single time I tried to open up a line of conversation in all of these Tallahassee channels, YouTube channels, the people would come say, oh, look, Wendy's in the channel. Look, here's Wendy. How's your mommy, Wendy? No, I'm not Wendy. I'm not Wendy. I'm just me. And I have some real questions. So we have Daniel Roshbaum, who really seemed to be acting only in the very best interest.
I looked out and I saw the rain. I wanted it to go away. I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound. But you were there, holding my hand. You were there, holding my hand. I looked out and I saw the rain. I wanted it to go away. I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound. But you were there, holding my hand. You were there, holding my hand. I looked out and I saw the rain. I wanted it to go away. I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound. But you were there, holding my hand. You were there, holding my hand. I looked out and I saw the rain. I wanted it to go away. I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound. But you were there, holding my hand. You were there, holding
we have this request by Michael Ufferman, a man, when he speaks, people listen, requesting that this judge, the judge that so badly mishandled this whole Charlie Adelson thing, Judge, we need an evidentiary hearing. Now, the judge is pressured because you could be saying, okay, but maybe the judge just says no. I mean, if he's compromised, he doesn't want a inquisition about it. He wants it all to go away. He can't really do that, see? Because if he denies the evidentiary hearing that Ufferman has requested, this is simply going to go to the appeals court, and the appellate court will never, ever, ever let this stand. So now Everett knows it either all comes to light because he accepts and allows the evidentiary hearing, or it all comes to light when his ruling, when his trial gets overturned at the appellate level and they do a new trial. So even Judge Everett knows the gig is up. So they want evidence. They want a review of the evidence and all that took place during the course of the trial to find out if Charlie's constitutional protections were violated. So Donna and Harvey had worked with Dan Roshbaum previously. See, I'm telling you, this could be a Hollywood blockbuster. This could make Jodi Arias look like a kindergarten teacher, okay? I'm serious. So Dan Roshbaum already knew Harvey and Donna, worked with them on some previous work before this whole murder thing, right? They had a long-standing relationship. And so when Charlie ended up getting arrested first, but I mean, Wendy threw him under the bus within moments. So Charlie gets arrested first. Of course, they need to call Donna and Harvey to support Charlie, to give evidence that would defend Charlie, his innocence, right? But they kept hiding. They were dipping out on a deposition. They kept trying to get them to do their statement, and they had a scheduled deposition ultimately. And now we know, oh my God, now we know Roshbaum went to Georgia Cappleman, the great and glorious Georgia. Roshbaum went to Cappleman, made a deal with her that he would remove Donna and Harvey from his witness list if they would agree to cancel the deposition. And of course, the principled and ethical Georgia Cappleman said, oh, sure, no problem. We can do that for you, Dan. Wrap your head around that. Dan Roshbaum worked with Georgia Cappleman to steal part of Charlie's defense. Is that okay with you? Are any of you great and grand, glorious supporters of, oh, I hope Charlie Adelson is murdered in prison? Are you beginning to feel a little uncomfortable? What if Charlie Adelson wasn't a part of this insane bullshit? Now you got Dan Markel dead and Charlie Adelson soon to be dead, and you're feeling all sparky and sassy sitting up there in your YouTube channel going, yeah, we got him. We stuck it to him. No, you actually removed an important doctor in a world where we don't have enough doctors. Now, you know me, I go hard for people that I think are guilty. Barry Morphew in my opinion, is going to burn in hell. He is a bad guy. But what we saw happen to Charlie Adelson during this trial is absolutely an abomination to the United States Constitution. So Dan Roshbaum hit Charlie's attorney, went to Georgia Cappleman and made a deal. He would remove Donna and Harvey from Charlie's witness list if she would cancel the deposition, and they together made a deal with the devil and said, okay, done. There was no written agreement. Charlie never agreed to this BS. Never. His defense is so badly compromised by not being able to call Donna to the stand. Do you know? And I said this during the trial. I lost subscribers during the trial. People were furious at me during the trial. That Charlie was the majority of the prosecution evidence against Charlie was actually the evidence that would be needed to convict Donna or Wendy, not to convict Charlie. Why is Georgia Cappleman using Wendy's book in the prosecution of Charlie? There was never a psychologist called to discuss this problem of enmeshment within the Adelson family. Dan Roshbaum just sat in his little chair and let Georgia Cappleman tell the jury that Charlie was a little mommy's boy and that Charlie would do mommy's bidding, and that mommy was crazy and wanted to dress up the children as little Nazis. And Charlie said, okay, mommy, yes, mommy. Bullshit. Charlie Adelson, it was a businessman who was working 60 hours a week in his own life in Fort Lauderdale, living his own life, doing his own thing, not sitting beside mommy Adelson every day, and actually very rarely saw Wendy. Dan Roshbaum made no attempt at all to stop Georgia Cappleman from using evidence that should have been to convict Donna and Wendy, but was instead applied to Charlie, but it wasn't Charlie's evidence. It had nothing to do with Charlie. Dan Roshbaum did nothing. And now we know there was a secret agreement between Dan and Georgia Cappleman to not let Donna testify. It's crazy. It is. Michael Ufferman is of the opinion that Roshbaum made the deal with Georgia Cappleman. Roshbaum made the deal.
I looked out and I saw the rain. I wanted it to go away. I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound.
So that brings us then to this little nugget. Hold on just a minute. All right. So this is the star witness against Charlie. This is the star witness. I want you to listen to this guy. You don't have to know the the details of the case or anything like that. Listen to this guy and tell me, does he know what he's talking about? Or is he being led by Georgia Cappleman?
Did y'all follow Dan Markel at all during this second trip?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you follow him this time?
Follow him to the daycare and to the gym.
Was there a reason that the murder had to get done on the day it did?
It was just the right thing, the right opportunity, I guess.
Okay. Did you have any information that the victim was going to be leaving town the day after the homicide occurred?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, meeting.
Is the answer struck?
Yes, it was not struck. You need to rephrase your question.
All right. So how did you find out that the victim was leaving town the following day?
I can't remember that good.
Was it from a blog?
What? Georgia Cappleman. Shame on you, the grand, great, glorious, principled, and ethical Georgia Cappleman. Was it from a blog? Literally, she asked the top guy in the Latin Kings gang, was it from a blog? This is not the kind of guy sitting around reading legal blogs. But you see, he has to, because that is Georgia's script. That's the prosecution of Charlie Adelson. Now listen to his answer, people. She's feeding it to him. Oh, how did you learn that Dan Markel was leaving town? I don't remember. Was it from a blog? Now look at his eyes. He's like, do I get extra pudding at lunch? Look at his eyes. Was it from a blog? Were you reading a blog that targets lawyers? Oh, yes, that's exactly what I was doing as a Latin king. What? Listen to his answer.
Objection, Your Honor. Meeting.
It's not leading, Your Honor.
Rule.
Was it from a blog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what blog was that?
The blonde was Wendy.
Oh, the blonde was Wendy. Wendy told him that Dan Markel was leaving town the next day. There you go. There it is. Because you made a deal with the devil, Georgia Cappleman. He is an idiot. Okay, so is anybody going to react to the fact that he just said Wendy told him that Dan Markel was going to be leaving town the next day? Is anybody going to react to that?
No, I was
you
saying
mean?
from the computer. Did you research
Oh,
it
no.
on the computer? Okay, so somebody gave you the information.
Yeah, somebody else.
A person.
A person.
And how did you actually talk? Gave you the computer?
Unbelievable.
Objection, Your Honor. Meeting.
It's not leading, Your Honor.
Rule.
Was it from a blog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what blog was that?
The blonde was Wendy.
No, I was
you
saying
mean?
from the computer. Did you research
Oh,
it
no,
on
no,
the
no,
computer?
no.
No. I was saying, did you read it on the computer?
Okay, so somebody gave you the information.
Yeah, somebody
A
else.
person.
Oh, yeah. It was someone else. It wasn't Wendy. No. How foolish of me. I don't know what I was thinking. Why would I say Wendy told me that? I don't even know Wendy. Except Wendy is wearing an owl t-shirt exactly the same day that this joker is posting photographs of owls on his Instagram, and Katie Magbadoa freaks out and says, "You dumbass, take that off your Instagram." I don't know what the owl means. I don't know if it even has anything to do with anything at all, but it's a little strange, right? But there is simply no question, no doubt, none whatsoever. This son of a bitch right here just implicated Wendy as being the conspirator who drove this thing about killing Dan Markel, not Charlie Adelson.
Into the gym.
Was there a reason that the murder had to get done on the day it did?
It was just the right thing, the right opportunity, I guess.
Okay, did you have any information that the victim was going to be leaving town the day after the homicide occurred?
Yes,
Objection,
ma'am.
Your Honor, meeting.
Sustained.
Is the answer struck?
The answer is not struck. You need to rephrase your question.
All right, so how did you find out that the victim was leaving town the following day?
I can't remember that good.
Was it from a blog?
Objection, Your Honor, meeting.
It's not leading, Your Honor.
Roll.
Was it from a blog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what blog was that?
The blonde was Wendy.
No, I was
What you
saying
mean?
from the computer. Did you research
Oh,
it
no,
on
no,
the
no,
computer?
no.
Okay, so somebody gave you the information.
Yeah, somebody
A
else.
person.
A person.
And how did you actually talk to the person?
No, ma'am.
Who talked to the person?
Tuto. Garcia.
Garcia talked to the person.
Charlie can't believe his ears. Charlie is in such a state of disbelief right here. He doesn't know what is happening. He's sitting there looking at this Joker and he's thinking, what do you mean Wendy told you? Oh, Charlie knows now. Mark my words, all of you, hang Charlie from the gallows because he's such a guilty man. He knows now. It's all going to come out now, people. And what is going to be really, 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 really interesting is if all of these people that were rabid to destroy Charlie Adelson completely just ignoring the facts. Queen Georgia. It's going to be really interesting to see if these people have the damn integrity to stand back and go, I think we got this one wrong. I really think we got this one wrong. Georgia, look at this. Georgia is coming for Wendy also. She is being methodical because Wendy knows how to cover her butt as a lawyer. But Charlie was definitely the money man. Really? How do you know that? Because it was absolutely nothing at all to prove that except an idiot named Katie Magbanoa. Her words. This man's absurd words that he clearly is lying and doesn't know what he's talking about. Katie Magbanoa absolutely refused to say Charlie did it. Charlie ordered the hit. Charlie. She refused. You guys are blind on this, Sunny Spirit. You're just blind. And I'm not, there are some channels. Let me say this. There are some channels where people just, every single person that is arrested, they advocate for them as innocent people, right? Like Truth and Transparency. She's got a nice channel. She does a lot of research, gets court documents, does all that. But she always takes the position that the accused is actually innocent. I don't ever do that. You go back to all the other cases that I've covered, I'm pretty much in with everybody else. Barry Morphew is a killer. I'm convinced of it in the deepest part of my bone marrow. That is a man walking around free that ought to be sitting under the damn jailhouse. Brian Koberger is a killer. Richard Allen is a killer. These are things that make sense. Charlie Adelson working 60 hours a week, 6 days a week, multiple businesses, living on his own, irritated trying to get off the damn phone with his mom, never broke the law. When you go back to his school days, medical school, high school, all of the people that knew him say the same thing, and that was, he's a good guy. He'd give you the shirt off his back. That is not the kind of man that has time or the temperament to entertain the idea, oh, I think we should knock off my sister's husband because he's being mean to her. He had nothing to gain and everything to lose. And all of you, Sunny Spirit, all of you that are in those Tallahassee attorney chat rooms about this, or YouTube rooms about this case, none of you have stopped to say, okay, well, if this was an enmeshed family, if this was a, psychiatrically speaking, this was a sick family, where's your mental health expert? Why in the hell was there no psychologist or psychiatrist get up on the stand and say, I evaluated this family and I believe that Charlie Adelson was enmeshed with his family and would have done whatever his mommy wanted him to do, including dress up like a damn Nazi. Where was the mental health expert, Sunny Spirit? Where was it? Of course you followed it for 10 years. It was tried. Charlie Adelson and the rest of the Adelson family, they have been tried in the court of public opinion for 10 years. The newspapers, local TV, and the worst in terms of the violations of constitutional protections, to have actual attorneys in Tallahassee doing YouTube channels where all they did was just repeat a mantra to the public. Charlie Adelson did it. 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 In fact, 3 weeks before the detective with the magical ears that can hear things that you and I cannot hear, Sunny Spirit, 3 weeks before he came up with, oh, look, I have a transcript for what's actually being said on this very bad recording. 3 weeks before that, Georgia Kappelman went on local television and she said the words, you think I don't want to arrest Charlie Adelson? I do want to arrest Charlie Adelson, but I have no evidence. Period. I wonder if Michael Ufferman got that interview. Well, Sunny Spirit, you and I are very good to debate one another because I don't have 1 ounce of doubt Charlie Adelson is innocent. Hate crimes in fashion. Things are heating up in Florida. True crime, girl. This thing with Charlie Adelson is crazy. So crazy. So crazy. So we'll see where this thing goes. But I'm telling you, I watched Carl Steinbeck. I watched all of you guys. I watched all the channels. Charlie Adelson had nothing to gain. Zero. Nothing. he did have everything to lose. He was building a small, well, he built actually for his age, he has an impressive net worth. Charlie Adelson has more money than Harvey and Donna after a lifetime of work. Dan Roshbaum had a pre-existing relationship with Donna and Harvey. And Dan Roshbaum went behind Charlie's back and made a deal with Georgia Cappleman. And everything that Dan Roshbaum did was to protect Donna. Oh my God. Crimes and Fashion. She is a mess. That is for sure. She's completely no, I think the conspiracy was Donna and Wendy, and they brought Katie Magbanoa in, right? Because she's the one that had the connections to the dark and seedy underworld. And I think that Charlie was he was the glue that held the story together. And Dan Roshbaum sat on his ass, never objecting, made very few objections. This one clip is, I mean, what else do you need to hear? This one clip. Listen to what this guy says.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you follow him this time?
Follow him to the daycare and to the gym.
Was there a reason that the murder had to get done on the day it did?
It was just the right thing, the right opportunity, I guess.
Okay. Did you have
Okay, Sunny Spirit, you probably don't know anything about me. I recognize your name. I know who you are. I'm a licensed psychologist. Charlie Adelson is not a narcissist. And I know that everybody loves to say that. You love to talk about how narcissistic he is. You'd be more accurate if you fingered Wendy as the narcissist.
any information that the victim was going to be leaving town the day after the homicide occurred?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, meeting.
Sustained.
Listen to
The
this.
answer struck?
The answer is not struck. You need to rephrase your question.
All right. So how did you find out that the victim was leaving town the following day?
I can't remember that good.
Was it from a blog?
Objection, Your Honor, meeting.
It's not leading, Your Honor.
Rule.
Was it from a blog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what blog was that?
The blonde was Wendy.
Oh, what? Excuse me? Wendy? You mean it didn't come from Katie Magbanoa through Charlie? Wendy told you. Now that is a story I can absolutely believe. He also talks about the lady walking down the road with the two kids. The lady. He didn't know why she was there. The lady wasn't supposed to be there. He was freaked out that she was there. Incredible. And everybody is just walking around like little brainwashed automatons, not hearing what these people are saying. And then when you go on a bit further through the exchange, Charlie Adelson is dumbstruck. He's sitting there right now stuck with, it was Wendy. Wendy told me that Dan Markell was leaving the next day. Right here at this point, and I'm not going to say how I know this. Right here at this point, Charlie Adelson is now only thinking, Wendy? Wendy told you Dan was leaving? how do you know my sister? He didn't even hear the rest of the exchange. It's incredible. It's incredible. Oh, damn, I hate this kind of bullshit. I hate this. This one soundbite taken out of context is not the full picture. Wendy is also narcissistic, but while the whole family is truly, Harvey maybe not, just led by Donna. I do know, listen, and love you. You've got this one wrong. No, I don't, Sunny Spirit. No, I don't. I think Wendy is up in all of, she's all up in the middle of this crimes and fashion. It was Donna and Wendy. They're sitting around and they're saying, Danny's such an asshole. Oh, he is. Danny is just king of assholes. Just hate him. We should just offer him $1 million, but we don't have $1 million. Maybe Charlie has it. Maybe we could get Charlie to pay it for us because we don't really have it. Yeah, he'll do it because he's just that kind of guy. He's nice to everybody. He'd give you the shirt off his back, according to all the friends from medical school or from dental school. He'll give you the shirt off his back. The kind of guy he is. Okay, but if we're going to do, if we could get $1 million to give to Danny, that doesn't sound good. Wouldn't it be better if we could just get rid of him? Like if we just found someone else to do it, we paid them $1 million, then we would never, ever have to deal with Danny, and we could change the kids' names. Wouldn't that be delicious? But how would we do that? Like, how do you find a hitman? That's so crazy. Oh, you know that girl that Charlie dates? You know the one? Yeah, she's kind of dark and spooky. Maybe she knows some people. Well, maybe we could invite her over. We could invite her over and say, hey, we're hanging out at Mom's house. We're going to be on the beach today. I know Charlie's working. I know you get so lonely being by yourself all the time. Why don't you just come out? We'll have a girl day. Let's just go hang out on the beach and we'll just have us a girl day and it'd be great. Now Katie's in. Who's Donna writing the checks to? Oh, yeah, Katie. Katie, not Charlie. Do you believe? Stop for a minute, Sunny Spirit. Listen, let me ask you this question. Open up, just think for a minute, okay? Do you believe Charlie Adelson would type the instructions for the hit on a typewriter in someone else's office and wears gloves so he doesn't leave fingerprints on the paper, puts it in the envelope, drops it in the diaper bag, and tells Katie, don't touch it. I wore gloves, so my fingerprints wouldn't be on there. You don't want your DNA on there. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. But then it's going to say, hey, Mom, I need you to write some checks to pay off the hitman. Stop. Stop that bullshit. That is stupid. That is stupid. My passion for this comes from during the trial. I would go into these various channels, including Carl Steinbeck. I would go into these channels and I would ask a question. Well, can someone explain why this would happen or this would happen or that would happen or that would happen? And you guys absolutely piled onto me, Sunny Spirit. Oh, look, Wendy's in the chat room. Oh, there's Wendy. No, I legitimately was asking real questions, trying to understand. And I kept thinking, I'm missing something. All these people are so passionately against Charlie Adelson or any of the Adelsons. I've got to be missing something because I'm always like right on point with the crowd, right? So it's weird that I seem to be like the only person that's going, wait a minute, there's a lot wrong here. Something's wrong here. And I did so much research, so much reading that I found out about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter organized a public campaign against Charlie Adelson. True story. Before he was ever arrested. The DA had refused this for these charges to be brought like 7 times. And finally, when they got a new DA, then they said, okay, you can take it. But there was no new evidence. And the only evidence that was really presented wasn't even about Charlie. And now we find out, because of Michael Ufferman, we find out that Dan Roshbaum made a deal with the devil. Georgia Kappelman made a deal with Dan Roshbaum. Everything that went wrong benefited one person, Donna Adelson. And Dan Roshbaum was sitting there just raking Charlie's money in. Raking it in. It was, Ginger. It was. Dan Roshbaum was handpicked from a dating site to provide Donna with grandbabies. I mean, you're not lying. That it's funny because it's true. You cannot convict. Okay, I'm done. Gotta go. You guys keep an eye on Charlie.
I looked out and I saw the rain. I wanted it to go away. I felt the weight of it all come down. I braced from the deafening sound.